Let's go. So the overall of the Maimer, what are we talking about? We're talking about why we struggle with the Yetzer Hara. Al Kain Yingru Amoishlim, people who have to control the Yetzer Hara, say, Boy Cheshbon, make a Cheshbon, Makorepo. The answer is there's two forces of Elokus in the world. There's Mamali and Soiviv. Ma is Hashem as he's revealed in the world, and Soiviv is Hashem as he's encompassing and on top of. The one that's Aleph, one base. Aleph or base? Huh?
Switch Aleph.
Good. Yeah. This is purpose. So, Mamale is Hashem as he's revealed in the world, above. And what you want to do is, with all the purposes, to bring Hashem into this world. Wasn't meant to bring Hashem down. Hashem, as he's above and removed, to bring him down. Shmei Rabbi is Tzeidev. Got it? Yehei, not Shmei Mevorach. Yehei Shmei Rabbi Mevorach. What's Shmei Rabbi? The exalted name of Hashem, the one that's above, should be brought down. So Hashem, as he's removed, should be brought down. So that's going to answer the question as to why I'm struggling in life. What's my struggle for? To reveal Elokus. That's what it's for.
Why? Because the Mimala is just the Mimala is just okay. This is good. This is nice. This tree look beautiful. This.
Yeah, Mimala we see Hashem Olam Shon Nefesh. They're revealed, very nice, right? Now, what's Sheivev when Hashem is concealed? So Sheivev is the mitzvahs. Elokut in the mitzvot is Tobet.
It's the fact that I see is wow, look at this nature. It's crazy. It doesn't mean to me that Hashem can control my life and do like everything.
What I want to get to is a much deeper internal meanistic relationship with Hashem. How does that come
could
about?
Just be the world's running by itself. As I'm creating that.
Correct.
Yeah, but why are you taking the out of the core translations or distinctions between Soiviv and Mamala? There's distinctions that have to do with Bria and Kiyum and the not the midas, the characteristics of the Nivra that are Soiviv and Mamala.
And if I could add what Eli said yesterday, Soiviv is always going to be Soiviv. You're never going to be able to touch it. It's always going to be at a distance.
And if I could add to that another question, we don't exist. What do you mean that Soiviv is the koyach habriya and like it says in Shayich Remuna the kiyum? There is no kiyum because the person who started asking you the question a minute ago doesn't exist anymore. Because it were two b'chadish
Sorry, say, I didn't hear the last. What were you saying?
Okay, so a couple different questions. That number one, Soiviv, as we learned in Shayich Remuna, is not just the koyach of the bria of Yesh Ma'ayin, it's also bria and kiyum, right? Didn't we learn that in Shayich Remuna? Now, how's it Shayich kiyum if there is no kiyum? Because each moment there's a new bria. The cup that I have now didn't exist a second ago. So what's the kiyum of the min if it doesn't exist?
The whole chidush of Hashem in creation is that Soivev and Mamale cede control to something, to a higher force called Atmos.
Okay.
It's not Mamale, it's not Soivev, it's Atmos. In other words, that the light of God, which is not possible to be present in the world, and which denies the world, is going to be present in the world.
Okay. Didn't ask my question. So I'm asking a question. Did this cup exist a moment ago?
I mean,
you agreed to Ani Hashem Leishanisi, right? Yes, of course. There's new chadshus in the world. It doesn't mean there was any change in the revelation of Hashem to any degree between yesterday and today. Leishanisi.
But that's not what I'm asking. I agree it's Leishanisi. What I'm asking you, if you say that the world is a constant state of bria and his chadshus means that a second ago this didn't exist, now it exists. But a second from now, what exists now doesn't exist in the future.
Right. So what are you asking?
So I'm asking you, how's it shaykh to say that Soiviv is both from the perspective of bria and kiyum? There's no kiyum because whatever is isn't.
Essentially, the question is, how can God be revealed in the world? If God is unlimited and the world is limited, how can they blend together? That is the question.
So, but are you reframing it to say that this cup that existed a minute ago is the same cup that exists now? It's not a new
then
bria
Hashem
this
figures
month?
it out. The answer is that it's not possible for divine in the world to unite, but that's exactly what we're going to do. The whole world becomes godly.
Godly in the sense, again, God, it was godly a minute ago. It's a godly this moment, but it of the minute ago is not the same it of this moment. Both godly, but not the same.
From our perspective, but from Hashem's perspective, it is all the same.
Okay, then
the divine itself is godly. Go learn Igeris HaKodesh Chof with Alter Rebbe, the last Igeris HaKodesh Alter Rebbe wrote, and there he goes through the whole thing about this material world is the most elokus you could ever experience. There's nothing more godly than a cow which is put on your head as a tefillin. It's the ultimate of elokus. That's what he describes it. The Gashmis is the lowest, but it actually is the highest. But separate question to here, I'm saying.
But okay, well, one more question if I could. How do you say of a Kaddish Baruch Hu that Hoya, Hoiva, V'yia, if in truth it's only Hoiva? Because there is no past and there's no future. I don't say that. I mean, I know this is before coffee. I'm hitting you with some. But this is what I was thinking about. How can you say Hoya, Hoiva, V'yia if you tell your Kaddish Baruch Hu is above Zman, that he's not Hoya, he's not Yiyah, he's only in the moment.
It's all one. It depends which level of elokus.
But it's not Hoya.
The answer is three levels. On this level, it's like that. On that level, it's like that. It's not.
Or you say that even the attributes of the Baruch Chesed, Gvur, Peres, these are all the way we relate to them as human beings. But in Baruch Hu, it's Yachad and Yuchad. It's all together as one. There's no 10 levels. So too, Hoya is our understanding, our relationship, and how to understand, because the Kadosh Baruch Hu is mugval from Zman.
So that's why I asked the question. Exactly. I said, from Kadosh Baruch Hu's perspective, how could you say Hoya? From our perspective, I got it. We live in a getter of Zman.
Depends if you're talking about Teva, there's the way of looking at this way and the way of looking at it that way. That is, by the way, the point in Shariat of the Moon, these last prokim, which are so difficult.
Right. Yeah.
What is the Nakuda? The Nakuda is this Hashem's perspective and perspective. From out, I see this looking up, I see nature, and I see Hashem as unlimited, and he sees, no, there's nothing in the first place.
And
Those and we've combined the two perspectives.
The Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't see the, not, I don't say doesn't see, because I can't limit the Kadosh Baruch Hu to say that he doesn't see the other. But there is no other Lagabe Kadosh Baruch Hu.
From that perspective, from the perspective of below, there is.
Okay.
And they both unite.
Okay.
Dr. Muller just had a baby yesterday.
Oh, well done.
A daughter.
Well done. That's very nice to hear. Well done. Calls for a drink. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
All right. Anyway, so this is what it means, right? In our simple terms, why do I have to struggle to do a mitzvah? Why is it so hard for me to do mitzvahs? So the Nakuda is because there's Elokus penetrating the world. Right? Hashem is penetrating the world. So it makes it so cosmic and so powerful. When I'm doing a mitzvah, it's not just me doing a mitzvah. There's a world which is lacking Elokus, and I'm bringing down Elokus. So the epicenter of that, the thread that runs is a Yehei Shmei Rabbi Mevorach Le'olam, bringing down the name of Hashem to this world. What's this world?
Through the three worlds.
Yeah, correct. Through my problems. Essentially, I'm bringing Hashem down into my struggle. So when you're mindful of that, that's what's going to mean that the Gzar Din of 70 years disappears. So that's what he says. Let's look at the bottom of Samach, fifth last line.
Which column?
Column 2. Yesh Gamkin, page Samach, bottom of the page. Yesh Gamkin echolos mikefes atuma. There are chambers of tuma. There's powers of tuma. You can actually feel them. You can feel how you live inside them. Shemehem nimshach shefa v'chayut lechol davar ra. There's these bad forces in the world. You mamish can see it. You get into a negative state, and you live in this negativity. And you have free choice. If you decide to
load up,
right, the yoke of Torah mitzvahs. Need a safe is wrong. Kishor la'ol. Ukachamor lemasui. Look at it there. Like a, I put these back. Like an ox with a yoke on him, and like a donkey carrying his weight. So what does that mean? I'm the donkey. What's the donkey? Right. See what he's doing now? He's giving you a whole different perspective on what it means to struggle. When I'm struggling, what I'm feeling like is I'm struggling. Now I'm going to give you a new perspective on your struggle. You are bringing Hashem into this world. The more struggle, the more you bring Hashem into the world. So the more struggle you are, right? The more quick you're doing. That's the greatness of it.
Wouldn't the greenness be to even in the good bring Hashem into it? Like, wouldn't that be? When everything's good now.
Amazing, yes. The last Maimon the Rebbe said, last Maimon the Rebbe said, what do you talk about? The last Maimon the Rebbe said, what he said was that his point was that there's two ways to bring Hashem into the world. One is through the struggle, and the other one is when there is no struggle. What's the issue? Only one thing is bothering you. Why is Hashem not revealed? I'm not suffering, I'm doing well, everything's fine, but why don't I have God revealed in my life? That itself becomes a struggle. So the point is that it's a new frame on your problems in life. You don't have problems, you have space to bring Hashem into. It's when you look at, see what it's going to say, when you say this, what does that mean? Not screaming and shouting. It's when you say, oh, my life is to bring Shmei Rabbi, to bring Hashem down, Mevorach Leolam, into this world, to bring Hashem into the world, then your life of 70 years becomes mission, purpose-driven. How beautiful is that? Then you don't have a decree of 70 years. You follow where you're going? So here, when you just...
If you're not doing that, then your life is hell.
Then everything's messed up in life. Then why is Hashem causing me problems? What's the reason?
Years of this world will begin.
Right?
If your life is purposeful and doing that, then it's going to be great.
Now you have the choice. You have the choice. Where do you live? Which space do you live in? Right? What does that mean? Again, objectively, I'm struggling with whatever I'm struggling. I could look at it and say, I'm just struggling. And there's problems and there's stresses in life. Why am I not doing well or whatever? And then I live in that state. And you'll get more, you'll see. You'll get more, your whole system in life will build on that. You'll literally decide you're a loser and you'll become a loser, even more of a loser because you believe you're a loser. You'll be that one. So look what he's saying.
Allah will not mean forever. It means into all the hidden
Leolam means into breathe here in a second. The world.
Into all the hidden things.
Yes.
All the
Yes.
stuff.
So if you decide, look at the second last line. If you decide to accept the yoke of Hashem on you, you'll get your highest from Kedusha. I just saw today a letter of Hasidim. Imagine the year 1950. They're writing a letter to the Rabbi, and clearly they were complaining bitterly because they were living in Melbourne, Australia. So they said, we came from the country, right? The old country, Russia, Europe, wherever they came from. There were a bunch of Hasidim families, and they said we were surrounded by Hasidim, by Judaism. We're in 1950 in Melbourne, Australia, and there's been going on there, and we want to leave. So right to the Rebbe, we want to leave 1950 before the Rebbe becomes Rebbe officially. So the Rebbe answers them. He says, "Afraid, you claim you're suffering, but Hashgacha Pratis sends a person to a place. The Abishah sends a person to a place. And Hashem decides when you went there. And Hashem wants the Elohim to be revealed everywhere. And especially if the Rebbe Rayat sent you over there, then you are on a mission from the Rebbe, so you know clearly you were sent there. So Mela, what's your mission? You know, Hashem wants to be revealed everywhere. You are now taking a course to a place where no one else is around. And because you had those connections with all the Hasidim before, therefore you know how to bring it now. So you're in a God-forsaken place. Not. You're revealing Hashem in a place that nobody else can. And when you start looking yourself in that frame, you'll realize how awesome your life is. Do you see the point? When you accept the yoke of Hashem, when you're bringing down Hashem, now everything you're doing in life becomes
accept the challenge.
Yeah.
The challenge.
Accept the challenge because that's not because because of some motivational speech, because that's what God dreams of you. Because you're on a mission to bring Dir B'Tachtonim. This is DBT therapy.
But in someone's mind, it is difficult to make. Now I have to deal with this challenge, deal with myself.
It's difficult. And what I mean, it's difficult. So why is Hashem making it difficult? Because he wants to reveal it to me. Right? He wants to reveal it to me.
So that's the
And I'm bringing Hashem down. That's what I'm doing. How purposeful and mission driven is that? And now that's what the mind is about. I'll understand the cheshbon of Hashem. Why Hashem made the world? Bring down, yeah.
What's the shame you
So-
like after you kill?
Yud K Rabbi. Yud K is Hashem because Hashem is Yud K Vav K is Hashem as it comes down. Yud K and Vav K is the same name. Yud K and Yud K is the same thing.
Yeah.
Vav K is a long Yud.
Is that I'm sure?
Yud K is Hashem concealed. Vav K is down. Shem Yud K Rabbi. Shem Yud K. The name of Hashem is concealed. All the things that are concealed. I mean, God wanted me to bring it down.
Make it okay. We're supposed to add the above.
Shmei Rabba is Shem Yud K Rabba means state of Kalam, to bring Hashem down, the hidden of Hashem to be revealed in the world through me, through my life. Me living my life as a Jew, I mean, with my struggle.
It's already
So-
Wednesday. We're 2.5 hours. in.
Can
Don't feel bad
you
if
repeat that?
you're right
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? How
Come on,
you said
yesterday,
Yeshua
Monday I was there.
You
No,
hate-
I wasn't here.
I didn't.
It goes like, I mean, by the way, I'm just saying what he's going to say later on. He's going to spell it out more clearly later on.
Okay.
I mean, the guy's got a difficult marriage, right? So he's got a problem with his wife. So you could, so he could say, I got a problem with my wife. Why did God give me a difficult struggle marriage? Or that could be the issue. Or he could learn the Maimer and he could say, okay, people who have to control, I mean, their senses every time they walk in home to de-stress from the wife, and they're wondering, why does Hashem do this to me? So those who are Moishel B'Yitzram will say, Boyu Cheshbon, let's make a min Cheshbon Shalom. What's the Cheshbon of the world? That Hashem is concealed, and Shem Yud Kei Rabba, there's a name of Hashem which is concealed, and we want to be brought down. How? I mean, by telling a Jew what to do, and having a Jew who's struggling with his wife, living that way. So I'm bringing Hashem down. So Yehei Shem Yud Kei Rabba, the name Shem Yud Kei Rabba, right? The name of Yud Kei, which is the exalted name of Hashem Steva. I mean, not that you see God in a human body and whatever, that's very nice, but that every guy can see. And I'm going to bring Hashem down. Shem Yud Kei Rabba should be mevarach, should be brought down into the concealment. The wife, the problem,
But if he's
into
doing
me,
it right-
my issues. Well, all me, all my, deep into the problem.
If he's
There's
doing
life.
it right, doesn't it become not a struggle or the purpose is?
Of course, it becomes fun.
No, I don't know if that's true because you're not one
What's
person
the
thinking.
Rabba? What's the Rabba part?
Every
What's
day
the
is a
Rabba
mission.
part?
This
The
is
rabbi
one
is
person
there's
thinks of
Shem
your
Zutta
words
and
and
Shem
something
Rabbi.
another person
Zutta is
thinks
the
of.
Malakul Amin, Rabbi is Sevach Amin. Mamalik Hashem is he reveals himself in the world. Rabbi is the concealed.
Right. Only one person.
That's the
one.
one.
It's not.
You're doing big things, basically.
But you can only control yourself and the reaction.
Right.
So how you deal with it.
So he's saying it all depends on what space you live in. This is like in Laskil Chabina. Right? Where he says, so a problem happens to you, right? Okay? So it's a big problem. Now what? Which we learned about just the previous line about Nachum Ish Gamzel. So he comes in front of the king and it's sand. So what does he do? So he says, but I have emunah in Hashem. I have emunah. That Hashem does this for a purpose. Gam zu l'toiba. He's screaming. I'm not ready to live in fear. And in the world tells me that you're a loser. Hashem abandoned you, forsook you. You're a loser, you're terrible. No, I'm not living in that space. I'm living in a space of strength. Emunah, Yotze Breish, Hashem created this, must be good. So he jumps into happiness. You see what he's doing? Shmei Rabba Mevorach.
Nothing who didn't.
He's living with the space.
This is from Hashem. That must be good.
Today, Shnuchal Avodas Hashem, to serve Hashem. Page 130, next page. Ve'in chas v'chalila l'taiva yevakesh nifrod. That's a possibility. If a nifrod means a separate being. I think it's in Mishlei. If he looks for taiva, the ta'ava yevakesh nifrod, to be separate from Hashem. To chase after your physical pleasures all the time. What can I get more physical pleasure in the world? So then you're not just chasing after the pleasure, you're living in a different space. It's the state of mind, the state of being that's changed. Shmei Rabba Mevorach is a state of being, a divine energy. Otherwise, you're living in a taiva. You're getting your life force and your sustenance and everything about you from the chambers of klipa. They literally are mashpia on you, all bad things, like machshavot zarot. That's why I find it always so, it's so powerful. I have to go to Kaparis when you're having Kippur early morning. It's dark still outside. You're taking the chicken and swinging over your head. You've got to stay those words and what it means. Right? Look at that. When you learn this mind, you understand what those words mean. B'nei Adam, yoshvei choshech v'tzel mavet. See what it means? People who are living in the darkness of death. Sirei oni ubarzel. You're a prisoner. A prisoner of what? A prisoner of all these thoughts that I have that mean that I have to be reliant on what other people think and success and this and that. You see him to get me out of this darkness and death and be my shackles. And then you say, Evilim, fools, miderech pisha, not me pisha, but the pesha is not the problem. The problem is not the aveir. You're not doing chill for the aveir, you're doing chill for the whole derech that leads you into this, the whole path that leads you to this disconnect. It's a whole system of thinking. Yehesh Mei Rabba Mavarach is a new operating system. What's my life about? What's the purpose about? What's the goal? When you live in that space, it's a different reality. That's what we got. And that's what tshuva means, right? You just started the Igeres HaTshuva. That's the Igeres HaTshuva. That is tshuva. Now, there's two types of taivas, right? There's taivas, you know your taivas. Klippus, sometimes you want a taiva for something terrible. Also, and sometimes the taiva for something. The taiva to eat chaza treif is war. The taiva to indulge in food, which is kosher, but indulge, is also a problem. If you're not living the Shem Shemaim, so you argue, what's so bad about doing the Shem Shemaim? You're going to punish me for not doing the Shem Shemaim? Seriously? I'm not punishing you. I'm just telling you the reality you're living in. All the taivas of this world, right? What are they? They're not necessarily bad, but the world just, the whole thing's bad. A little bit of good is inside there. As is explained in the Maimon Achim, about Yom Kippur, which is talking about. We said there's Pnimi and Makif de Noiga. You know what that means? Noiga, the Klippa, he knows how to build a system. There's Pnimi and there's Makif. Pnimi is that, okay, come, I'll give you this taiva. Makif is this aura you get into, whereby the ambience. You become consumed by the taiva, right? It's like he says over there, the man mentioned taiva that covered. What's covered? Person wants covered. What do you actually want? It's not defined what you want, right? What's it covered? Recognition, likes. And you don't realize what just happened over there. You sold yourself to the Yitzhar. You sold yourself to the devil. Because it's pay attention to what your life is about, what the goal is, what the purpose is. If you don't pay attention, you are hijacked.
Yeah, but Rabbi, one second. You just said that the struggle, right? So the taiva itself, that's your struggle, or part of your struggle. So that's good for you. The taivas are good because you want to bring Hashem down. So to get out of your struggle, it's like it's not a stira. I think it's part of.
Absolutely. In other words, all you need to do is grab hold of the minor, and say, "Oh, so you mean that I'm in these taivas? Wow, I want these things." And the very fact that I learned the minor and I look into myself and I'm engaging. That is Yesh Rabbi Mavarach. Exactly.
Oh.
That's why he says, I was just learning now the Igeres HaTshuva of yesterday, with yesterday's Tanya. So he says the Tshuva is one thing. Tshuva is one nekuda.
Stop.
Just stop. How do you do Tshuva? Just looking at yourself and saying, "Uh-oh, you're right. I am stuck there." And that recognition and looking back and saying, "Wow, life is." Literally, you're destroying your life by looking after stupidities. And the second you switch it over and you're saying, "Whoa, my life is Shmei Rabba Mavarach. I'm doing something unique." Now it becomes the transformed. That's all it is.
The second you try to switch it over, the awareness of, right? I mean,
awareness.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very powerful. The Yeshaychol is the Gimel Klippus Atmeya Shelamata Miklippus Noiga. So there's Heicholis of Taiva and covered, they're mellow taivas. Everything's good. You want kosher things, you want permissible, it's all good. You're toast to in that moment. But you have also, when you mamish going into things that are asr, when you mamish want something asr. The kivan she'adam, we are on line 8 of page 130, approximately. The kivan she'adam ba'al b'tira. You have free choice. Lachen bo talui hakol. What that means is, again, the Rabbi Steinsaltz mechanism, there's this current running in the world. The current is godliness or klippa. It's the same thing. What's it dependent on? You. This is how I look at it. Simple. Am I literally, you can mamish feel it. When I live in that state, all negative. When I change my state, everything switches. About switching the way you look at things, and it's an unbelievable reality. And if you turn away from the machshavot, so what are you doing? I'm not disengaging from a machshavah zara. I'm doing, teach yourself these words. I'm doing iskafia. That's an important word to learn. If you push away the sitra achra, you are bringing Hashem down into the world. Give yourself a point. Every time a thought comes to your head and you're noticing, pushing, that's Avodah. In other words, it's not me and my thought. It's a whole mechanism going on in the world. And I'm pushing aside the whole thing. Because where did the thought enter your mind from? It's heicholis, a klipa. You get it? It's not just a thought that enters my mind. It's a chamber. It's an operating system of klipa. And you're allowing the operating system to run through you. Now, they said when you push against it, so you say, so what, so I'm lost? No, just push him away. When you push him, Hashem is revealed in all the world. Pirush, all the Eicholos, they're all called worlds. A Heichal, the chamber, right? So the king's sitting in the chamber, you don't see him. The chamber is a room which you can hide in the king. So, saying something fascinating. There's a chamber, the king's in the chamber. When you get approached by a chamber, meaning what's a chamber? It's not a thought that enters your head. It's a system of thinking. Hashem is inside. He's right there. How do you find Hashem? Make a decision. Ask Hashem, what do you want? What do you want now? Right? So if you're feeling depressed, what does Hashem want? Tells you what he wants. If the Hashem is simple, he wants you to work Hashem simple into your life, work Emunah into your life. So to think about Emunah, to draw Emunah, and to bring Hashem into your life. And when you do that, what happens? You discover the king in the Heichal. That's called Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam, which is the same idea as when Yesh Rabbi before. That's why it's called Olam, a concealment. When you push the last one, what's the last one? The worst klipa, that's you. You push away. So again, it's not that this is the principle of Tanya. It's not that I'm struggling. I'm not struggling. I'm just I'm a godly person, and the struggle of it is because there's a clip out there, and the clipper has been pushed inside me, so I've got to shoot. So it's not my struggle; it's a cosmic struggle, and the Heichal is entering into me in order for me to subdue and overcome. What you're doing is, by pushing away a thought, is a cosmic, powerful thing. The light of Hashem should not be concealed. God is revealed. And you reveal the name of Hashem Soiva, Shmei Rabbi. Kadosh, the revealed one, Baruch Hu is revealed in the world. So this is what it means.
Revealed one?
Kadosh Baruch Hu, Kadosh, it's revealed, becomes Baruch.
Why is it revealed?
Because Hashem is not here, right? I'm feeling depressed. Hashem is not here. Now my question is, what does Hashem want? So I'm going to reveal Hashem down here. I'm going to take what Hashem wants. That's Hashem hiding in the chamber, and reveal him down here. Every moment I'm going to ask, what does Hashem want? Reveal him down here. And through this, Elokus is going to be revealed in all the worlds. In my little being, live your life that way, and you'll see it's just a different way of living life. Istalek means to be elevated. So the whole
Elevated?
yeah.
Makes it go away.
Mm-hmm. So the whole
It's to remove. But it's
right. So the Rabbi in the Maimers, the boss of the guy, he says Istalek means whatever you want it to mean. And whatever you decide it means, it either means the Istalek before, or to be revealed. It's the opposite approach. Whatever you decide it means is what it means. That's his whole. That's the boss of the guy. You got to understand this. There is no way to reveal Elokus. There's no way to reveal Elokus unless one thing has to happen. You have to have a resistance to push against. So now when you see the Sitra Achra penetrating your mind, you look at him and you say, oh my gosh, there's my opportunity to reveal Elokus. Yeah. So instead of it being an adversary now, he's the thing I push against to reveal Hashem. How beautiful is that? It's in this world, in the body of a person. And Nefesh Bamis, you are cosmically important. If you want to lift up a house, right? How do you lift it up? You got to go. If you want to lift the house up, right? How do you take it? You take a crane, and where do you put the crane? If you put the crane in the middle of the house, what's going to come up? Only in the middle. If you want to lift the whole house, what do? You go to the foundation. You got to go out and lift the whole thing. So what does Hashem do? He wants to lift all the worlds up. So you're not going to lift the angelic world. He comes into the klippa, into the lowest of the low. What's that? Olam hazeh agashmi. Me, I inhabit Olam hazeh agashmi. I'm not. You know what that means? I'm not the lowest of the low. I'm like a loser. I'm a lowly person. That's bad. No, you're not. You're actually the foundation of everything that can pick everything up. When you flip from one switch to the next, you see the change in thinking. You think you're the lowest of the low. It's true, you are. Good, but that's also the foundation. Push against Sitra Achra and the whole world gets uplifted. It comes about through breaking the physical taiva. It's not about you and your taiva. It's the blockage in the world which is now undone. Well, there's an Isalam, and then the Seidav comes into the world. Until now, there was a concealment, and it was all concealed. When you reveal the light of Hashem, there's no concealment in this world. So the hidden, the impossible name of Hashem, which cannot be revealed in the world, is now revealed through you. So at the end of the day, this mimer is, I think, like pivotal to us in terms of how to operate, right? And what are we doing? We're on a cosmic mission to reveal Hashem in the world. Our taivas are not our taivas. They come from the world out there. They're not me. And therefore, imagine how you go to a, right? I'm saying you go to a bacher who's struggling with he's trying to be a Chassidish bacher, and he's struggling with the internet, and it leads him into all sorts of whatever, and he's seen it, everything is also, and he says, I'm not a Chassidish bacher, basically. I'm no longer that. And you say, no, you are a Chassidish bacher. You're on a mission to reveal Hashem into the klippas. The only problem is the klippas are inside you now. So you have to contend with this Taiva Yavakish Nifra world, which used to be on the internet. It's no longer on the internet. It's inside your head now. So it didn't change.
She's going.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Of course. I sat with him that Shabbos, and we did a stump the rabbi with that class.
And he has to watch.
He was there. Then I found another kid said thank you for whatever. He's got the kid spent the previous day 16 hours on Chrome.
On?
16 hours on Chrome. On his phone. In the middle of yeshiva. I don't know what he was doing, but I imagine it was good. So what does that mean? So now this is what it is. The Bach looks at himself, and how do you change the Bach's frame? You tell him Right? The message is he thinks I am now no longer. Gershuni ayom mistapech b'nachlas Hashem, as David HaMelech says. I was kicked out. I'm no longer part of Hashem. I'm a disgusting.
By the way,
terrible-
you're also high school, whatever, early high school age. You're saying at that age also you
There's
go
big time
fight
hormones.
and go fight against yourself.
Yeah. It's hard. It's very hard, but you need to know this piece. You need to know that it's not you are Hashem's messenger on a mission to bring Hashem down into the klippa, and just because the klippa entered you, just makes it harder. No change in the actual avodah. And once you know that, look how it empowers you, because you're not at the bottom; you're at the foundation. Different frame. It calls in Nasi al Dea Odom. Now look at this thing over here. It's all done through man. Why? Biyois. Fascinating pasuk. We're about to learn this in Geras HaTshuva in Tanya, and you'll see this thing. Yaakov Chevel Nachalosek. So that's a pasuk in Parashat Ha'azinu. Yaakov Chevel Nachalato. What does that mean? It means Yaakov is tied to Hashem with a rope. So there's a rope that binds my soul to Hashem. Right? The rope is made of 613 strands. Fayad mitzvot, it binds me to Hashem. And what does that mean?
Some are thicker strands, some are thinner strands.
Absolutely. If you push a rope like this, wiggle it in the bottom, it wiggles on the top too. Which means, all you need to do is make a decision, a resolution. I'm not staying stuck in this clipper. Traceal, right? That's a traceal. It's like, I can't stay up. And you move the clipper, and the rope goes, and he moves. And then what happens? The rope up there moves, right? Because one decision over here, one movement towards Elokut in this world makes a huge ripple effect in all the world. That's what it means. Exactly like a ripple. Yeah. This is the point of the whole Maimer so far. Let not, don't worry, he's only starting now. Now begins the whole Avodah, like he's in developers big time. Let not your heart fall when you have machshavot zarot. And you say to yourself, I'm such a loser. All you're going to do is push them away, one by one. To push your das away from them. How do you masiach dat? You can't put your dat in nothing. Right? You say, okay, so I'm not going to think about this. What are you going to think about?
Empty mind.
You have to put your das into davening and learning and bonin, right? And this itself is the bonin. If you miss bonin in Amen Yesh Rabbi Mavarach Leolam, my life is about bringing Hashem down. Meditate on this concept. You'll see that itself allows you to get out of the clipper. So here I am, and the problem is it doesn't go away now. It's done. Now the next second, the next thing comes along, and the next one is that's great. It's like it's a computer game. You're playing, you're pushing in, and every time you put the traceal, you have huge ripple effects in all the world. Understand how cosmic effects your effects are. This is all explaining the Zohar. It's all the same thing. When the Zitrach is pushed against, is revealed. You literally reveal Hashem in all the world. Yesterday I called up a guy. I called this guy up 2 weeks ago, probably. Ask him for. I was calling him to fundraise. So I called him up, and he told me on the phone that there's long thing in the building and real estate, and bottom line is there was some deal and it went wrong and whatever, and a whole long story how. But and it's a crazy story in itself. But the bottom line is that he has to pay $700,000 by June 23 to the bank, and he doesn't give it. So he had to put down what? He had to put down yesterday. So to put down his house on the thing and in foreclosure, and he'll lose everything. Essentially, he used to be a very wealthy guy. He lost everything. So, and he tells me, I have no way to get $700,000. I have zero idea how to get $700,000. Then what happened was the bank tagged on another fee of $250. So now he's got $950,000. So I said to him, he said, but I have total bitachon. I have total bitachon. He's sitting over there like, Hashem's going to bring it down. He's going to do it. So I called him yesterday. I said, no, what happened? And I didn't realize it was supposed to be June 24th. In my calendar, it says to call him tomorrow. But today I wanted to know, yesterday, what happened? So I called him up. So he said to me, you just can't believe what's going on right now. It was in the morning when I called him. So last night at like 11 p.m. he called me up and he told me the story. And he said, you just don't understand. You see, like, you're literally watching. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. He says, you see Hashem. He says, yes, he had what's it called? He bought it a few years ago, a mafia, bakery in Queens. And bought it, and there's a lost money, had lost everything and whatever. And a friend, he borrowed from a friend of his $300,000 to put in the building. And he put in this thing, and the bottom line is this thing went totally berserk, nothing in it, it lost. So he realized it's worth nothing, and it's sitting over the last 6 months worth nothing, and they want to just give it back to the bank. It's not worth anything. He says 2 days ago he gets a call from two Hasidic guys. They called him up, and they say, we saw your bakery over there. We wonder if we're offering your price $1.8 million. He said, I need to fill up my check. $1.8 million. They're offering develop. What?
They want to
I don't know what they want to do, but they want to buy the thing. He says, and they want. So I told them that I'm ready to do it for you if you'll send me by tomorrow $900,000 and release the money to do whatever. Then I'll do it. So they said fine. Then the other guy goes $300,000. He said to them that, but I need to get the money first. So he called them back and he said, okay, I need 1.3. So they agreed on 1.2. Right? So he says like. He said, it's like finding scrap metal in your backyard. And suddenly, guy just sends you $1.8 million, and I came to the bank, the money went in, everything. And he's like, I'm sitting over there staring, and he says, I have no clue. It's insanity. He's like, I'm going to write a book on whatever this, but he tells me, you don't understand how bad it was until you.
He doesn't know what he did to change it.
He says, but I don't understand why
did he
did
cut
God
you a
have to
check?
wait? What?
Did he cut you a check?
Next, that's coming next. But he said to me, but why did God have to wait till the last second?
400 barrels more.
Like you couldn't give it to me like 3 days ago. Like you had to wait. He says, I can do anything. And the guys came in literally the last day. That day they sent the money in and boom. And otherwise I would have foreclosed my house, lost everything. So I sent him today. I sent him of Zion Tishrei. In there it says, what's tshuva? Tshuva is Tafshin Vav Beis Hey. So the Beis is B'chol Yochecha Da'ayu.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It says, Me'avodas Aval Esek. The work of a Baal Esek, of the business person, is to see God in every little thing in his life, to find Hashem in every little thing in your life. So I think the same principle is here, right? You're living in a state of, I'm a loser, everything's bad, everything's terrible, everything's this and that. And when you flip the space and you realize, no, you're revealing Hashem, and you start seeing Hashem. He told me now, I said, you don't understand, I've been on such a losing trip for the last while. I feel now such a winner. Yeah, I didn't do anything. I just got away from banking, but I feel like such Elokus revealed the most unbelievable thing. Yeah. I just want to make a 1 minute start of this, then the next piece of it, just to end this, because it's the end of this piece of it. So if you look at Ois Gimel, he says, "V'zeu in Maim Razal kol oine omen yesh me'rabba b'chol koichoi korenu gzardina shelayin shana." Now you understand what it means if you answer Amen Yesh Rabba with all your might. What does it mean with all your might? And then the gzardin, the decree of 70 years, is gone. See what 70 years is going to mean? 7 midot. Your midos go crazy. Midos a lot. What am I doing? My midot, right? Your midot are all under control when you have a mission, purpose in life. Kishmei Rabba, the save of Kalam, the great name of Hashem, Shmoy Agadol. Kishmotav shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu hem itpashtut ve'ashpa'ah litavot midot Yitbarach Shem Havai b'nakud patach u'b'chochma Shem Kel b'chesed. There's different names of Hashem. So there's Kel is Chesed. Every name of Hashem expresses something. But then there's the big name of Hashem. Shmo Agadol, who's save of Kalam. Hashem is removed from the world. And that removed name of Hashem is revealed in the world when you struggle. Hashem is Ein Sof, it's only Hashem. So now let's end with this. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam. I think we said the word forever, that's the problem. People think Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam, forever, and it means nothing to me because I don't know what to do about forever. It's tomorrow.
Forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, it's meaningless. You lost me completely when you said those words. The moment you say space, it's present. Now it means I'm going to do something. You see that well? Leolam uleomei omaya. It means
last week.
yeah. The more concealment there is, that's what it means in Yeshayahu, the end of Pirkei Avos. V'lichvoidi brasiv, yitzartiv afasisiv. Those are the three words. והיינו שימשך לגילוי ולהסתירו כלל בחינס ההלם וההסתר של העלמין. The world should not block the divine energy. That's what it means. The glory of Hashem to be revealed in all the worlds. What does that mean? He's going to go through, show you how that works, right? So what it means is a person has in this world, he's going to say now, we'll do it tomorrow. You're here for 70 years. Why 70 years? You could live 120. But 7 times 10 means all the midas. You go through all emotions in life, all through everything. And instead of looking at yourself as a failure, look at yourself as the most incredible revelation of Elokus. And if you realize my life is Shmei Rabba Mavorach Le'olam Olam Maya to Bria, Tzir, and Asiya, to all the different levels that she discusses, then no, I'm just revealing Elokus. Mimela, the Gzar Din of being stuck in your emotions, of 70 emotions, is undone. You're no longer in the Gzar Din. You're a winner. That's the point. Shkoyach.
Very nice. Very cool.
All right, I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, Penny.
Oh, Penny.
Perfect.